I used to use this term to describe myself growing up, but it applies to Russell Westbrook. He has irrational confidence.
It is. I mean, before we even get into breaking it down, Jalen Ashley, I want to say thank you to both teams because they both came out and played extremely hard. It was fun to watch. I love the way both teams competed in this game, Jalen.
The stage is set. Two teams, one bitter history. The Denver Nuggets and Los Angeles Clippers are facing off once again in the NBA playoffs. But this time it feels different. Is this the moment the Clippers finally redeem themselves from that infamous 2020 collapse? Or will the Nuggets prove once again that they own this rivalry, despite all the chaos swirling around them?
You know, I thought they closed a little bit better. If you're the Clippers with that 15-point lead, I think that's what be kicking themselves. But just down the stretch in overtime, the Murray, obviously two-man game with Jokic was just too much for the Clippers. They tried to get the ball out of their hands. Give Russell Westbrook a lot of credit.
Just days before tip-off, Denver shocked the league by firing their head coach. No one saw it coming. And now, as the defending champs stare down a loaded Clippers squad, featuring Kawhi, Harden, and Westbrook, the pressure is sky high. In this video, we're diving deep into the firestorm that is Nuggets versus Clippers 2025. The narratives, the matchups, and the drama that could define this entire postseason. Let's get into it. Let's rewind the clock.
He made some huge plays, and I thought down the stretch for the Clippers didn't seem as they didn't actually know where they really wanted to go. Everybody in Denver, we all knew where they were going with the Nuggets with that two-man game.
The year was 2020. The Clippers were up 3-1 on the Denver Nuggets in the Western Conference semifinals. Kawhi Leonard and Paul George were supposed to close the deal. Instead, they crumbled, losing 3 straight games in embarrassing fashion. The Nuggets, led by a rising Nikola Jokic and a fearless Jamal Murray, completed one of the greatest comebacks in NBA playoff history.
I've never seen a player that creates that much chaos in a game. He was switching roles between Russell Westbrook and Russell Westbrook each possession. I've never seen anything like it. He lost and won us the game about 10 times in the last 5 minutes.
That series didn't just sting, it haunted the Clippers. It became the symbol of their dysfunction. The internet never let them live it down.
It came down to two teams really going after each other. I mean, the 50-50 balls, the plays, the playoff atmosphere, the attention to detail, the effort in this game. Somebody had to win, somebody had to lose, but...
Pandemic P, the memes, the jokes, you name it. And while Denver moved forward, evolving into a legit contender and eventually winning the 2023 NBA title, the Clippers were left chasing ghosts. But this isn't just a rematch, it's a reckoning. Fast forward to 2025, and the narrative has flipped. The Clippers, now with James Harden and Russell Westbrook added to the core, have gone all in for a ring. Their window is closing. This might be the last shot for this core to make it work. And who's in their way once again? Denver. But here's the twist. This isn't the same Denver team from years past. Yes, Jokic is still the engine. Yes, Jamal Murray is still a killer in the clutch. But just days before the playoffs, head coach Michael Malone was abruptly fired. The locker room is shaken. Assistant coach David Adelman has been thrown into the fire, and the pressure to steady the ship is immense. So now the emotional stakes are sky high. For the Clippers, it's about redemption. For the Nuggets, it's about resilience. One side wants to rewrite history. The other is fighting to stay afloat in the face of internal chaos. Battle on the floor. Matchups that matter. This series isn't just about narratives. It's about basketball warfare. And it starts with the biggest puzzle in the NBA. How do you stop Nikola Jokic? The Clippers are one of the few teams with the size, switchability, and physicality to at least bother him. Expect Ivica Zubac to get the initial assignment, but he'll need help. A lot of it. Jokic sees doubles coming a mile away, and if the Clippers overcommit, he'll pick them apart with his passing. That's where guys like Kawhi Leonard and Paul George come in. not just as scorers, but as disruptors in the passing lanes. But make no mistake, stopping Jokic is about containment, not elimination. You won't shut him down. You just hope to slow the flow of Denver's offense. Then there's Jamal Murray, the playoff assassin. His two-man game with Jokic is elite, and in crunch time, he becomes a different player. The Clippers will likely rotate Terrence Mann, Norm Powell, and even Westbrook onto him in waves, trying to wear him down and deny those comfort spots. On the other side of the court, the Clippers have firepower, but they also have to figure out how to share the ball. This team runs on ISO-heavy possessions, with Harden orchestrating, Kawhi picking his spots, and George floating between roles. When it flows, it's beautiful. When it doesn't, it's clunky. Denver's perimeter defense isn't as tight as it once was, especially with their coaching situation in flux. And this is where the Clippers need to pounce. They'll test Denver's rotations with Harden's pick-and-roll reads, Kawhi's mid-post mastery, and PG's catch-and-shoot ability. And don't forget the X factors. Westbrook's energy and rebounding could swing a game. Aaron Gordon's defense on Kawhi might be one of the most important individual matchups of the series. And Michael Porter Jr. If he gets hot, he can flip a game in 5 minutes. Ultimately, this isn't just about stars. It's about execution, composure, and who can control the tempo. Can the Clippers dictate the pace and keep Jokic from turning it into a chess match? Or will Denver's ball movement carve them up like it has so many times before? Legacy. On the line. Who has more to lose? Let's get real. This series isn't just about advancing to the next round. It's about reputation, validation, and for some, survival. For the Clippers, it's a defining moment. This core, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, James Harden, and Russell Westbrook, wasn't brought together just to make the playoffs. They were assembled to win it all. But ever since Kawhi and PG arrived in 2019, the Clippers have been a story of unfulfilled potential. Injuries, blown leads, early exits, and always the same excuse. Now, there are no more excuses. Kawhi's playing elite two-way basketball again, but how many more playoff runs does he have at this level? Paul George is in a contract year. If the Clippers don't win, he could walk. Harden? His legacy is already polarizing. He's shown flashes this season, but another early exit could cement the narrative that he can't deliver when it counts. And Westbrook, the heart and hustle guy, may be nearing the end of his prime. This might be the last dance for all of them together. And here's the kicker. If the Clippers fall flat again, they move into the new Intuit Dome with no banners, no titles, and nothing to show for a half-decade of star-studded ambition. Meanwhile, Denver enters this series as the defending champs. But somehow they feel like they're still fighting for respect. Nikola Jokic is chasing his third MVP and already has a ring, yet he still gets overlooked in favor of flashier names. Another deep run silences any remaining doubters. But a first-round loss. It opens the door for critics to say last year was just a one-time run. A perfect storm rather than a dynasty in the making. Jamal Murray's also got something to prove. He's electric in the playoffs, but if Denver falters and he struggles, people will question whether he's a legit number 1, 2 on a championship team. And with head coach Michael Malone temporarily out, the team's ability to rally and stay focused is under the microscope. And let's not forget the organizational stakes. Denver is trying to build a sustained contender around Jokic. A loss here could shake the foundation. For the Clippers, a loss could trigger a full reset. So yeah, this isn't just a first-round matchup. It's a career checkpoint, a legacy battle, a franchise turning point, redemption or repeat. So here we are, the stage is set. On one side, the Denver Nuggets, steady, cohesive, and championship-tested. A team looking to prove that last year wasn't a fluke, that their dynasty starts now, not then. On the other, the Los Angeles Clippers, A roster stacked with names and narratives, fighting not just for a playoff series, but for legacy, respect, and maybe even relevance. It's the unstoppable force versus the desperate storm. If the Nuggets win, they stay on the throne and remind everyone that consistency beats chaos. If the Clippers pull it off, it's the ultimate redemption arc, a silencer for the critics, a flicker of hope that this experiment might finally work. Either way, this series is bigger than basketball. It's drama, emotion, and high-stakes storytelling at its best. So buckle up, because whether it's redemption or a painful repeat, history is about to be written.